Well,
RCB वालों,
to
RCB वालों, congratulations.
That tagline seems to be getting much more clearer as each match goes by. Ee sala cup namude.
And just before the last ball is about to be bowled, I just noticed that Karan Sharma
is there in the dugout, the magic man for the IPL.
Karan Sharma.
He's standing.
Yes.
RCB, they are through to the
Qualifier second.
or the semi-final, you can say.
Yes, the proper semi.
They'll play Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah. So Lucknow Super Giants, they've managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory to an extent. I know it was very difficult, but at one point in time, Lucknow, they just needed 35 of last 18 deliveries.
That is true.
And they lost by?
They have lost by
14
runs.
So
21 runs scored only in the last 18 balls. 21 runs.
and who's responsible?
As Kumar Vishwas
Marcus
points out,
Stoinis, KL Rahul.
Today I am not going to blame Stoinis.
No, Stoinis also deserves a bit of blame, but Rahul also deserves blame.
I
Rahul
know.
gets the lion's share of it for me.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think they
Middle period of
Yeah.
40 runs in 6 overs after that power play.
They had a fantastic power play, okay? They were on, I thought they had even better than power play that I expected them to have.
62,
if you're
I guess.
chasing such a big total. You thought, okay, they are now in the game. But then what happened in the next few overs? Harshal Patel, Vasindu Hasaranga, they slowed down considerably. It was so bad. Then they tried, they actually at one point got back into the game as well with those sixes by Deepak Hooda, and even though he got out, that 45 or 26 balls was crucial. KL Rahul then hit a few. Marcus Stoinis 1-6 he hit off his second ball,
And that's it.
but after that he did not do anything, and I think the 7 balls he faced
3 runs.
after that cost them the game, apart from KL Rahul's inability to sort of score at a quicker rate during the middle overs. That also was a problem.
Look, when you're chasing 200, your game plan can't be to take it to the end. You need to be scoring at a consistent rate in every over.
Absolutely.
So even I was thinking, okay, even if he stays to the end, you're chasing a target or you're going with an expected, scoring rate of 17, 18 runs and over, when you could have actually on a good batting deck. Let's be fair, it wasn't a hard pitch to bat on. There were no demons on the track. The bowlers weren't bowling wonderfully for the most part. I mean, I just don't understand.
I mean, if you have to look at it, okay, let's just, in the 15 over stage, Lucknow Super Giants were 20 runs ahead of what RCB were at that stage. 20 runs ahead. 65 needed of 30, very much doable in today's time. 35 of 18, even more doable if you have to look at it.
35 of 18, Lucknow were favourites. I
Yes.
thought. You needed almost 15 runs and over at one point.
And then you got
From
it
there
down
you
to
got it down
12.
to 12, and still you could not manage it.
Yep, you did not, and those 4 dot balls completely stalled the momentum.
No.
Rahul tried something expansive, a lap scoop. Shabaz
I
Ahmed.
think Gautam Gambhir and KL Rahul, they are speaking to each other. Wonder what. And
Gambhir's face looks like
actually,
thunder is descended upon
yes,
it.
yes, he is about to. I think he is about to burst.
Also, but no, I have to say they also deserve some blame. Why send Manan Vora, who has never played at number 3
When you have
this
Evan Lewis-
IPL?
Evan Lewis, a designated opener you can't send him to open. That we all agree. Fair enough, because Quinton de Kock, KL Rahul, you have them as your openers.
Why not send him at 3 though?
Send him at number 3, and he did reasonably well. In fact, initial part of the season, he did play at number 3.
One knock against Chennai Super Kings helped them chase down 200.
And I can't believe they dropped him also in the first place. So Marcus Stoinis, who played what I guess at the end of the day this was 15th game, right? He ended up playing 12 games. What has he done in those 12 games except bowling that getting Umesh Yadav out bowled in that over before, and that also came after he had gone for some 14 runs in his first 3 deliveries.
Yep. He ended with 3 for 23, I guess, in that game against Kolkata.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, nothing with the bat. He botched up one run chase spectacularly against Rajasthan Royals. I mean, towards the end, he left it too late. So, Marcus Stoinis, what's happened with his death overs finishing, I really have no idea.
This used to be a consistent theme with LSG. I always say that they'd end up shooting themselves in the foot with horribly unnecessary batting changes in the lineup. I mean, what was the point of sending Manan Vora at 3 when your number 3 wasn't even the problem. You had Deepak Huda doing perfectly fine at number 3.
Yes.
That is what we discussed upstairs.
Lewis was your designated number 4 when he was playing earlier. That's why Stoinis came in and replaced him, and then Stoinis also first they tried at 6, then at 5, now at 4. I don't get this.
See, how many balls did KL Rahul play today?
58 or 59, something like that.
Anurag, can you tell me exactly the number of deliveries that KL Rahul?
54.
No, go down. 58.
58.
Okay.
136.
Let me just dissect this innings. Okay. He scored 79 of 58 deliveries, 136 strike rate of 136. May not look as bad. Although in the context of this game where you were chasing 207, it was on the maybe on the slower side. Okay, he scores 5 sixes and 3 fours. That is 42 runs, if I'm not wrong. So basically, he scored 37 runs, if I'm not wrong. 37 runs of 50 deliveries. 37 runs of 50 deliveries.
Even the strike rotation is poor then.
Exactly, because he played a lot of dot balls. That is where you lost this game. I know Siddhant has an issue with Marcus Stoinis, and a bit of blame has to go to Marcus Stoinis.
But KL Rahul also deserves some blame for sure. I thought he should have gone earlier. You're chasing such a huge total. Why wait till that strategic timeout for the others, Gautam Gambhir and Vijay Daya, to tell you, boss, what are you doing? Go and smash.
Because if we're looking at Stoinis,
why couldn't they do it 2 overs before?
A player of his caliber at least I can understand, he was biding his time, wanted to take the game deep, but at least you could have rotated the strike. Eventually you needed how many runs? Eventually you lost the game by 14 runs. And 37 runs of 50 deliveries in a high scoring game.
That's not good enough.
That's not acceptable.
It's
That
the same
is
we're
not
talking about. If you're
acceptable.
talking Stoinis as well, he had 1-6, right? 1-6 you remove, that means of 8 balls he scored 3 runs.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
That's
How are
horrible.
you facing 9 balls and 8 balls and scoring 3 runs?
Yes.
And for that matter, Lewis also scored only 2 runs of 6 balls. But
what was
it was
the
a
game
loss.
the game was done by
Yes.
then. We already knew the game was done by then.
over.
True.
Shamira scored 11 of 4, boss.
Exactly.
But
That's what, 1-4, 1-6.
That is only for his stats.
But again,
No, I'm saying Chamira scored 11
No,
of 4.
I get your point.
Marcus Stoinis 9 of 9.
No, but again-
For me, no. You saw they were under pressure with Harshal Patel when he bowled that wide delivery that went for
Yes.
4 runs. 5 wide, 6 runs you have given of 0.
yes, zero balls,
Okay,
correct.
suddenly the equation from 41 of 18 became 35 of 18.
Yeah.
What did you do after that?
You
You
gave
did
up
not
runs.
score a single run of the next 4 deliveries. 4th ball, you hit it straight to the fielder. It could have been a 6, I get it. But it went straight to the fielder, and that changed the game.
Yep.
By the way,
6 overs.
RCB has won.
Yeah. Finally broken the eliminator jinx after 2 very unsuccessful attempts.
As
Miraj
Miraj
rules
points out.
Miraj, I remember.
I remember him pointing this out, and I have to say he got it absolutely bang on the money. Let him bat till the 16th over and RCB in with a chance.
Yep. But then again, look at the middle overs. 6 overs, 40 runs.
No, you have to give credit. You have to give credit to players
enough.
like Harshal Patel
Yeah.
also. After going for that 6
Fair
runs without bowling delivery
He pulled it
in
back so
crunch
well.
situation, 3 dot balls he bowled. After that, got a wicket on the 4th
Just
delivery.
8 runs in that over, if I'm not
Yes.
wrong.
Yeah.
So well,
Just 8 runs
and
in
that is
that
precisely
period.
why we keep saying that Harshal Patel has to be in that Indian lineup.
Yes.
Yep.
I think he can absorb pressure despite giving
Brilliant
away
bowling.
5 runs in that over right at the start, when
6
not
runs.
even a single
6 runs.
6 runs,
One
5
wide
wide.
and then a 5 wide.
5, yes.
Yep.
So 6 runs without even,
single delivery.
Yes, without
And
bowling
then
even a
bowler
single
finishes at 8
with
runs
8
in the
runs.
over. That
And
means 2 runs of 6 balls.
I understand. You have to give credit to RCB, but a player of KL Rahul's caliber, who we all know and think that he's a big match player or somebody who can actually play those big strokes. He has that temperament. He just couldn't even rotate strike. I think you lost the game because of to an extent KL Rahul's.
One more crucial factor in this outcome. LSG dropped 3 catches. Today, look at Vanindu Hasranga's fielding.
Yes.
Oh,
He
that's 5
saved
runs.
5 runs.
5 runs.
He
that
also saved a 4 in the
certain
last
boundary
over.
in the last over.
9. Plus, he saved countless other.
One boundary that Deepak Huda crunched with his second delivery
Yes.
of the innings, which Vanindu Hasranga dived to his right and saved.
he saved 12 to 15 runs.
In the field.
In the field.
And how many runs did they win by?
14 runs.
Exactly.
Very, and they all took their catches. RCB took their catches, and simple. Lucknow dropped 3 catches. You can't. You don't deserve to go through unless the opposition blunders spectacularly.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. And so, as I said, RCB's bowling this IPL is their strongest suit. The batting, if it clicks like how it did in the case of Rajat Patidar, it's an added bonus.
And we're talking about coincidences with 2016. 2016, the team that won the IPL, Sunrisers Hyderabad, relied very heavily on their bowling lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
They all those chips are falling into place.
Yes.
Very, very interesting.
I mean, Sunrisers Hyderabad won from the 4th position, and again, third place
Third
team.
position, the third jinx carries on.
Yep.
The team that finishes third has never
Never
gone
won
to
from-
final or gone on to
Kushal Khurana is saying I am looking very animated just because
RCB have won a battle.
yeah. Wait. Go down.
Go down. It was
Go down.
down.
Go
Go down.
Further.
Yeah, go down. Yeah,
I
this
think,
one.
Seeing RCB won, nice. Hope medical stores have some Bernal left for Eliminator 2. Yeah, I'm sure. Don't worry, I'll get them. But if you think so, that it makes a difference to my life if RCB wins the tournament, wins a match. Good luck to you. But I don't think that will affect me too much. Don't worry, because RCB played well right through the tournament. They played reasonably well.
Yeah.
Lucknow, they can always say that this was the first season for them. They made it to the playoffs. It's a huge achievement. But then
Gujarat are in the final.
Gautam, exactly. You can always say that Gujarat, they are in the finals.
And I think they are lifting the cup.
And Gautam Gambhir, when he gave that dressing down to Lucknow Super Giants when they lost that match, and Gautam is actually really unhappy. He has invested more than 2 months in this side. To be very honest, auctions had not even started when he took everybody to Dubai to formulate a strategy. They could have formulated that strategy right here in India itself, but he took everybody to, it was a collective decision that they go to Dubai, and they had a meeting what all players they needed in that auction, and they managed to get hold of almost each and every player that they wanted to buy.
Correct.
And they got a good side. In fact, everybody here had picked Lucknow Super Giants as one of the
Ahead
title
of a Gujarat
contenders.
title.
Yeah, everybody picked them as
ahead of Gujarat. So every team was ahead of Gujarat, I think, right at the start. But the difference between we'll come back to that.
Johnny Khurana's super
Yeah,
chat.
please go ahead.
He's saying that the difference between the two teams was Hasaranga's fielding. He saved 2 boundaries. One of them was a 6 and 1 6, by the way. So in total, 14 runs, 2 4s and 1 6. 14. And LSG lost the match by 14 runs. He also is saying that RCB has Karan Sharma.
Also, go back to the other super chat by Miraj. Actually, there's something I wanted to point out there. It's still there, so you don't need to check.
I think it's still alive.
It's still alive. Yeah. Open it. I am more worried for the Indian team. If KL is your captain, I'm sorry, I have no hope. Kind of sort of agree with that. Also, we only blame Punjab management, but they must have seen something in KL's approach. That's why so and this is painting a bigger picture of Punjab's incompetence, because they were keen to actually keep him.
Punjab would not have let him go.
No, they didn't want to let him go. So the simple fact of the matter is they actually wanted to keep him. He wanted to explore his options.
Yes.
Lucknow missed a power hitter. No, they missed competent sense.
No, they had a power hitter. They had exactly.
Yeah.
They had not one. They had
Lucknow Super Giants in this entire IPL campaign botched up their number 3. Period. Every match, your number 3 was not
somebody might point out that Vohra scored 19 of 11, but we have to tell them, boss, you want somebody to go play a bigger innings, and what is Evan Lewis in the team for? He's not supposed to bat number 5, number 6. He has never done that for West Indies. He's an opener, and you had the glorious opportunity to send him out at 3, and instead you decided to send somebody who has not even played 1 innings in this tournament.
He should have been playing at 4. Why? Because Deepak Hooda was your settled number 3.
Exactly.
That is also fine, but they did not send him.
Even if you didn't want to send Evan Lewis, Yes, you should have sent Deepak Huda
Huda.
there.
Huda, yeah.
He's done
And
so
Huda-
well
and
at
Huda
number
did
3.
So well, even today.
Sending Manan Vora, wow. I just have to say, this year, this selections with their batting order has been baffling, to say the least. Krishnappa, Gautam, they have tried.
I think they got carried away with that, with the fact
All-rounder
that
tag.
with the fact that Rajat Patidar did something special there at number 3
No, but
today.
Patidar was playing 5-6 games like that, no?
Exactly.
How many
Manan
innings had
Vora,
Manan Vora
yaar, with all due respect, Manan Vora has not done anything in
For
the
3-4 years now,
in my
yeah.
recent memory.
Yeah.
And my
At least.
memory though is bad.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, see, the problem is when Evan Lewis was there, you are number 3. All your top order looked stable. But when Marcus Stoinis came in, everything went for a toss. If you have to look at it, your batting composition from number 3 to 6
Gone.
was unsettled.
Exactly.
That weak underbelly needed only
Please
one
read a few
game.
comments also if you can.
It needed just one game to expose that. You had an orange
It's
light.
taken that already.
You had an orange light of caution in that game against Rajasthan Royals, but you didn't learn. You didn't have a number 3. Your anchor, if Quinton and Rahul went cheaply, Quinton went early today. Where was the backup? There was no backup.
Vanch is saying instead of Vora, Ayush Badoni was a better option. Vanch, I'll tell you, you can first you start.
I think Badoni's plateau towards the end did not make that factor.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think eventually, how many wickets did they lose? Lucknow?
8 wickets.
6.
Six.
Six wickets.
Six.
And see, towards the end, you can lose as many wickets. That's not
Doesn't
that,
matter at
that
that
doesn't
point.
matter at all.
That was also when
if-
Krunal got out first.
Yeah, even if you had Ayush Badoni, I thought if you had sent an Evan Lewis or a Deepak Huda at number 3, maybe at a stage when you needed 35 of 18 deliveries, perhaps there was every possibility that you wouldn't have needed somebody like a Manan Vora or an Ayush Badoni at 5 or 6.
They tried to, I don't know, they were looking at a pinch hitter, what
Didn't
sort of
take
role.
the,
By the way, he
yeah.
might have been out-stumped without
Yes.
scoring enough runs, like
Yes,
just 2 sixes
yes.
and 4.
Yes, DK
Came
missed-
after DK missed that stumping chance.
Correct.
Yep.
Chalo, Shane, let's take all the comments. We are flooded with so many comments. You can start with anybody right from the top.
Okay, so Anil Bishnoi says, what do you think about KL Rahul's strike rate? Very poor.
Agreed.
And so Sridhar Savarkar has an interesting thing. He says, after a few games, I thought LSG had a great team. All-rounders who can do a bit of both, bat, ball, but not match winners. In knockouts, you need match winners who can win you the game on their own. See, I think they do have match winners.
Yes.
But they weren't playing them in the right position.
Exactly.
Same thing.
And today, I think Gautam Gambhir cannot complain too much.
No, because the part of it is down to the management.
Exactly.
No, that's what. The moment Manan Vora came out, I like, why have they sent Manan Vora?
Why?
And it's not that it happened for an over or two. The way KL Rahul and your Deepak Huda were playing at that stage, a message could have been sent then also. It seemed as if both of them were trying to play that role of an
Long
anchor. I was wondering who's the aggressor here.
Also, and with Lucknow, why management, including Gautam Gambhir, need to take the fair share of blame is because when they had that reverse Bradman-esque approach, you could have written it off saying, okay, early in the tournament, you won a couple of games, fine. You tried something, didn't work out. One off, fine. They've done it constant time since.
Exactly.
So it's a pattern then.
The funny thing is, you remember that game 211 which they chased down?
Yeah.
You know who won them the game? Evan Lewis
Evan
eventually.
Lewis.
You know which position was he batting at?
Three.
Number 4.
Correct.
Number 4, and he scored 55 runs for 23 balls.
Yeah.
Correct.
23 balls, okay. Today, how many balls he faced? 6 at the end.
And
Even
then
though he
was
only
coming in
scored
at
2
number
runs.
six. He was coming in at number 6. Why is he coming in at number 6?
Somebody who bats at the top of the order, you're making him bat.
At number 6.
And
Nonsense.
I am saying you tried Marcus Stoinis to play that finisher's role so many times. It just did not work out. I baffled by this.
Rajneesh, there's no point in criticizing, but what is wrong. But I think you're watching this.
I think
this
so. You
chat
have
on
not heard
mute.
what he is
I think
talking
you're
about.
watching this on mute because for the last 15 odd minutes or 20 odd minutes we've
We've
been
only been slamming KL Rahul to the rafters.
not
Yep.
RCB are
Look at
winning.
Rahul Rana's comment.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, they
great
deserve
win
it.
for RCB. They deserve it. Their fans deserve it. For 15 years, they have been supporting day in day out. They deserve the trophy. Rajat,
Rahul.
Lajawab Patidar.
Lajawab Patidar.
Yeah,
Yes.
Patidar's innings was Fantabulous.
Sensational.
Lovely. It was
Sensational.
for somebody who was not even a part of a team to come and play that knock, who's such a guy who
But his placement-
no, I think so. This was his 10th innings, IPL innings.
Yeah.
For somebody to play like that in a knockout situation where a team has lost the toss, you have lost your captain early. Brilliant.
RCB's fortunes
Just brilliant.
in their history. They will have to thank two injuries for giving them such great talent. One, Dirk Nannes got injured. Who came in his place? Christopher Henry Gale.
Their first ballot Hall of Famer. From
Yes.
2011.
And he changed RCB's fortunes totally. Then second, Lavneet Sisodia, he got injured. That's why Rajat Patidar came in.
Also, I have to take that question of Rohit Kumar. What's your take on KL approach? Will you still defend him? Will you still call him a big match player? I was the one who said he is not a big match player. So thank you, KL Rahul, for proving me right. I said it very clearly. The man scores against smaller teams.
No, but I think this is going to be a problem for India because
Yeah.
they need somebody to score those runs quickly. And if I think Rohit is one of those guys who can score quickly, but if Rahul bats like this and Virat Kohli also doesn't get quick enough runs, it'll
You're
be a
putting
problem.
Surya Kumar at number 4.
Surya will have a task at
Surya
hand.
will have one hell of a task.
Surya
in
will,
that
like he can't bail you out every game.
Yeah.
Na? Your top order also has to fire, and it's not like they haven't been given the opportunities. I'm sorry, this was a crunch game, and KL Rahul should have done better. His runs, when you look at this innings, 10 years down the line, you'll say, oh, he scored 79, even in a losing cause, highest
like-
scorer.
it's like
But we have to see what happened in the middle overs, na?
It's like Piyush
That
Agarwal
Piyush
said.
Agarwal is
So
saying
India's
that.
top 3 consists of Rahul, who's a stat padder. Good luck for the World Cup. Now see, I don't necessarily agree with calling him a stat padder, but the way his international career has gone at this point, it is getting harder and harder to ignore that reality that he doesn't step up in the big games.
And
That's a
against
problem against the bigger teams.
Yep.
And in a World Cup, you need to be playing at your best against the big teams because
you're
you're not
bringing
gonna-
up the fact that he scored some good and quick runs against Namibia and
Scotland.
no again
Zimbabwe was before.
Scotland.
Scotland in the
last
World Cup.
T20
See,
World Cup.
and in this 2022 World Cup, there are not many minnows if you have to look at it. India are facing Pakistan, India are facing Bangladesh, India are facing South Africa. And one more from the qualifier in that group.
So basically, the qualifier is potentially a winner, and that's why I
Yeah.
said potentially.
Potentially.
Because
So
Bangladesh, they're always charged up to play against India. Pakistan match sells itself. South Africa, well, we'll be facing South Africa in a bilateral
Yep.
series next.
the
And
pressure,
who's the captain in that series?
it's KL Rahul.
Anurag, can you go down?
Now, again, look at the two LSG players, 3 LSG players who have gotten into the India squad.
Right at the bottom.
Rahul, the criticism is on him. What about Bishnoi and Avesh? Those two are also going to feel the heat. I mean, it was Bishnoi's 27 run over that changed the entire course of the game.
Yes.
True.
From 123, that 27 run over propelled them to 10
And
over.
Avesh has had 2 very poor games on the trot.
Yeah.
Like last time, LSG
Hold on,
won.
Sandra.
LSG won the last game, so
Yes.
that 47 run spell of which he went for. How many runs did he go for again last match against Kolkata? 47 he had in 2 or 3 overs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had gone for 60.
60 runs. That thing gets largely consigned to the bins. But 60 runs in this today, again, he was very poor. And we were discussing it also. Is that one of the reasons Avesh Khan shot to prominence, or rather, 2 things in his bowling? One was hard lengths.
Yes.
2 Yorkers. Have you seen any of that from him lately?
No.
None.
Ever since he got hit by KS Bharat in 2021, the Yorker seems to have gone missing.
Yeah.
From
No, but
Avesh Khan's
still he could,
artillery,
he
yeah.
was known to be a bowler who could bowl those heavy balls.
Yes.
But
Even that has
we
not
have
worked.
not seen him this season.
Yeah.
And they are going to play, 60 balls, 70 odd runs, meaning 130 to get of 60 balls. Sorry?
For
Talking
other,
about
he's talking about KL Rahul's innings.
Yep.
So he scored 79, so 120 basically you are saying. Because KL Rahul scored 79 of 58 deliveries. So let's count it like that. So they needed 120 of 60 balls then from others.
That means 12 and over in 10 overs.
No, you look at the difference. I'll give you the difference. Just look at what Patidar did.
Yeah.
112 runs he scored of what, 54 deliveries?
54
He
deliveries.
got
Okay.
100 of 49 balls.
Yeah.
101 of 49 was when he brought up a century. That's over 200 strike rate on a pitch that, as I maintain, had no demons.
And even DK, look at
By the way, this is
DK's
Love Karan
support
Toor
staff.
from Melbourne.
No, I think that support DK is
US,
equal
sorry,
support you
not
got in the form of
US.
Deepak Huda.
Yes.
Huda played well, by the way.
Yep.
Those 3 sixes,
No,
if
no,
he would not
towards
have
the
hit-
end.
Towards the end. I'm saying those 3 sixes, but he got his strike rate right, na?
Fine,
KL Rahul failed to do
fine.
it.
And the more surprising thing is that the captain himself is at the crease with Deepak Huda. if he's not scoring, at least ask him to go for his shots. We have an Evan Lewis waiting there in the
They
dugout.
have so
We
many
have
power hitters. Lewis,
Huh.
Stoinis.
Yes.
There is so much power.
Deepak
hitting there.
Hooda.
Hooda himself. So what
I
were
don't
you-
know what, and I thought to an extent KL Rahul was playing some premeditated shots because
Yeah,
he was eyeing the leg
swiping-
side. He was
swiping across the line.
exactly. He was
Yeah,
eyeing the
like the ball this side also
Yes.
was trying to swipe it across the
Yes.
line and try to hit
and
it.
the caliber that KL Rahul has, he can easily tong the ball on the offside also.
what-
If the ball is actually
You see what DK was doing towards the latter part of the innings. They had packed the leg side. They had kept the offside fielders up in the circle.
Yeah.
So they were trying to bowl it slightly wide and tell him or dare him to hit
Yes.
towards the mid of the
Offside.
base, the leg side,
Leg side
basically,
rather.
and hole out at mid on. What was he doing? Tuck. He was
right.
hitting it
That
all.
angled bat, that squeeze
Yeah,
that he hit
yes.
through third man,
Yeah.
that showed that he knows where the field is.
He was using the pace of the ball, the bounce
Using
of the
his
ball,
mind most importantly.
game sense.
Yep.
Game sense. Remember Ashwin, we were talking about that day against the match that Rajasthan
Yeah.
won
CSK.
against CSK. Ashwin, he did hit a couple of sixes, in fact
But
more than a
a lot of
couple. But majority of the times he knew where the fielders were, and that is what he was doing.
Pounced on the wrong length and also
Go down.
the line.
He had Mukesh Chaudhary bowling him short and wide. So what does he do? Instead of trying to hoik, he knows that third man is up. I'll ramp. Simple four.
Patirana wide Yorker, just squeeze
Exactly.
it through the backward point. That's the thing.
By the way,
Rahul Rana has a joke basically. He's saying if RCB wins the season and by chance they release Karan Sharma can be the most expensive buy of the auction due to his trophy winning luck
He's a good
factor.
luck charm if nothing else, that man.
Yep, indeed.
but obviously we've been criticizing KL Rahul and
Who's the other Rahul that Varun Parvataneni is referring to? He has better strike rate and impact.
maybe he's talking about me.
Tripathi, I guess.
Acha, Rahul
Tripathi.
Oh!
Sorry.
Party, yes.
Ooh. You know, that being said, and I hate being that person, but for T20 World Cups, if you have Virat and Rohit open, Tripathi at 3 and Surya at 4, that is a tantalizing lineup. Or even if you want to make Tripathi open,
You and I might like it, but you know it's not
It's not
going to
gonna
happen.
happen.
It's not gonna happen.
You know what's going to happen. KL and Rohit will open.
Kohli
Virat
at
will bat
three.
at 3.
Surya Kumar
And
at
somebody, I'm not sure who was just pointing it out up there, comparing it with the England top order.
Roy, Bairstow,
Roy-
Livingston.
I am saying Roy Bairstow. I'm not Bairstow bats at 4 usually if they
Livingston.
They
Butler.
could very well send Livingston also, but Roy and Butler as a
Butler.
combination is so explosive
Yep.
in itself.
you're,
Rajneesh,
you're
yes.
also discounting the fact that they could also be throwing up someone like a David Malan on the top of the
Malan.
order. They have a lot of aggression up there.
No, but
Liam
Malan
Livingston.
is actually like Virat
Liam
Kohli.
Livingston.
No, Malan is like
Problem
Virat
is
Kohli.
Malan's peak when he was there, no one considered him. And then now he's at a very difficult
Lower range.
No,
phase.
Punjab Kings did consider him.
Yeah, but then he didn't play him. 1 or 2 games.
They played it for 2 games there, right?
That's it.
Classic
When he
Punjab
was the
Kings.
number 1 T20I ranked batsman, Punjab
He played
Kings
2
just
games.
played him for 2 games.
Classic PBS.
And you know these English, in fact, the England team and the Australian team, they're looking so dangerous that their captains seem to be perhaps the weakest links in their lineup.
Yeah, Morgan.
Morgan and Aaron Finch.
I agree.
Unless Cricket Australia buckles down on their ego and appoints Warner as the captain.
But why? What?
They won't.
Aaron Finch won you a
How-
T20
How can they
Yeah,
appoint
Finch
somebody
won
else's
the
captain when
World
this
Cup.
guy has won you the World Cup?
I know, but then see,
No,
there
they
is
can.
there is
The point is he's going to be playing at home first of all. I don't see that change happening at
No,
least.
that's not going to
till
happen
this
because I
T20 World
remember
Cup.
a couple of months just before the IPL, in fact, when they lost that series to Pakistan, there were discussions, in fact, speculations that might have to leave his captaincy.
Yes.
But then, if I am not wrong, I'm forgetting the official's name and designation. He said that we are building this team around Aaron Finch.
Aaron Finch, yeah. Because there was plenty of
Irrespective
talk
of
in the
his
Australian media because of Finch's poor returns in white ball cricket. Even in the World Cup,
He didn't do much.
it was his management and captaincy skills
But
that
who were
ensured
the batsmen? Warner and Marsh.
Warner Marsh,
Tell me something.
Stoinis,
Tell me
Wade.
something. What had Tim Payne done with his batting? That he was the Test
Nothing.
captain.
He won you the Adelaide Test.
One game. Aaron Finch also will
71.
have. Aaron Finch will also
75.
have.
He hit
I'm
76
saying Aaron Finch will
ball
also
test.
have.
India.
Will have more games than Tim Payne at least that he has won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim Payne to
was
Again,
you know,
Tim Payne
made captain for a different reason altogether.
No, format also different. But Finch for the past 2.5 years has struggled. If you have to look at it.
But
His
it's
last
at
major
home.
was 2019.
It's at home, and I've seen what kind of destruction that guy can cause in the BBL.
People
in
actually
those
I'm
conditions.
I'm actually worried about this IPL happens every year.
Yeah.
Will happen for 2 months.
Will happen next year also.
Exactly every year. So the bigger concern is for the Indian team. The
I
World
agree.
Cup.
Yep.
Comes once in 4 years. Although up to every year you have one World Cup at least.
See, you know what is the most galling part of it? IPL began in 2008, right? India won the first ever inaugural T20 World Cup in 7. After that, when the IPL has been played, every other nation has won it. Sri Lanka, Pakistan, West Indies.
Bangladesh is left.
Bangladesh is the only team that's Australia won it. New
England
Zealand
have won it, remember?
England have won it. New Zealand have not won. New Zealand and Bangladesh have not won it.
West Indies, Australia.
West Indies, Australia,
South Africa
Pakistan,
has not won.
South Africa have not won.
That's,
Three.
that's okay.
South Africa, well, perennial non-winners.
I know, but again, in some editions, like the last edition, only one loss they were out. That one loss that they had against Australia, which was a heavy loss, proved to be a big difference. They won against West Indies, they won against Sri Lanka, England.
Actually, but nobody expected South Africa to even qualify though.
Yeah.
The difference was everybody thought England was going to qualify from that group, and everybody thought that Australia or maybe some other
West
team.
Indies.
But I can't understand one thing. At least you have not spoken anything on RCB. Look at their campaign. They were virtually on the brink of an exit.
I agree.
They made it to
They
the.
peaked at just the right time.
Yep.
For me.
Everything is falling into place for them. Okay. Because if you can argue for the whole tournament, okay, RCB were not clicking as a unit.
Yeah, because that bowling was doing
individual
okay.
performances with the bat.
Yes.
Bowling,
Generally, has
They
been
also
solid.
they won because of an individual brilliance.
No, but I think a fast captaincy also
Yeah.
we have to talk about for a moment, because you see what was their weak link. You saw them trying to target Shahbaz Ahmed. Okay, the moment he realized that they've slowed down a bit, he completed his quota of.
That's
four.
what he's done throughout the season.
And it's good thinking.
I think before the 12th or 13th over, when you realize that we'll target their fifth bowler. Their fifth bowler is done.
13th over, you're right. 13th over, he was done because at that point they had 2 from Wanindu,
Yeah.
2 from Hazelwood, 2 from Harshal,
And one from Siraj.
And he bowled Siraj out also pretty much immediately.
No, because he knew Siraj can go for runs.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's just such smart captaincy. And also, by the way, in their defense, if one
Shahbaz
player
bowled
hits-
well also, yeah.
if one player hits 100, you don't need others to perform.
Absolutely.
If he had scored
Yes.
60, 70, then maybe you would have seen someone like a Lomro or maybe chip in with few more, 40 more maybe.
No, then
So-
DK would have come to the crease early, would have scored 70 or.
That is why a player like Quinton de Kock is so very needed in this LSG team 11. They wanted runs from Quinton de Kock and perhaps not from.
KL Rahul. Also, Quinton de Kock's strike rate has actually been around 150.
Yep.
The point with Quinton is he shows far more intent than KL Rahul does, because KL Rahul plays that anchor role, and it's Quinton de Kock who tries
Not
to play
every
those
day
big
you can
shots.
play the same.
And you know the worst part?
No, the
is-
50 also you saw that Quinton de Kock 50 where he got out just after scoring 50. He had scored it in some 26, 27
Also,
balls at max.
What's key, and this is where we're talking about international team, between Rahul and Rohit, technically who'd be playing the aggressor? Rahul, no?
Rahul.
And he's playing the anchor here. Are you kidding me? What
No,
is
I'm
the point
telling you,
then?
no, it will be Rohit who will be the aggressor.
But yeah, Rohit here is playing the anchor for Ishan Kishan. So it's beyond, there's no logic here.
They are all anchors.
It's all just vibes.
all anchors, just that it's not
you're-
helping their team.
So if you look at your top 3 in the Indian setup,
They're all very similar.
Rahul 136 today.
Yeah.
Kohli 108 again.
His
25
career,
24.
his career strike rate in general is around the 138.
Who's-
Kohli.
Kohli.
So,
And
Which is
Rohit
largely because of what he's done in the past.
yeah, and same with Rohit.
in the last match
2 of 12.
13.
2 of 13 balls he got out.
Man,
Yeah.
that top 3, you know, the irony of is that till 2019, we were always saying, top 3 is sorted, uske niche there's nothing. Here's the opposite. The top 3 is not sorted now. And it's more or less the same player.
No, top 3 is sorted.
In
That's not an
ODIs.
issue.
enough.
No,
Top
in
3 is not
ODIs.
an issue.
In ODIs, it's different.
Yeah.
I'm saying T20 cricket, you need somebody to
the
be far more
aggression is not
aggressive.
down to the
He
top
is still
three.
playing.
ODI, Rohit is a boss. He scored 5 centuries, if I'm not wrong, in that
2019.
World Cup.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm
I'm
talking
saying,
about the current
I'm
circumstance
saying
for the T20 World
also
Cup.
my entire point is T20 and ODIs can be a little different.
More than a little.
And for that to happen, you have people like, even if you look at Australia for that matter, okay, who is that? If you're looking at the top 3 right now, it's Finch, Warner, and Mitchell Marsh.
Mitchell Marsh.
Okay, all of them can go and smash the ball. Finch, even though, is a weak link for sure, but Warner and Marsh, if they get wing, they showed you in that
Yeah.
T20 World Cup final also.
And you never know, the very same Marcus Stoinis who's being
Who's
criticized.
toddling around here
Huh.
will be scoring at 150 for them.
Yeah, I'm
Because
saying
he'll be
he does that
better, perhaps he'll be better utilized.
Yeah.
He does that same role for Australia, na?
Yeah.
And he does that well. He's still
In
part of that
fact,
side.
it was
and there's Glenn Maxwell also.
It was
that's why.
Stoinis who stemmed that rot against Pakistan.
Correct.
That 42
Yeah.
before Wade, that was the knock which was much more crucial if you had to look at it. Because Shadab was running through their middle order like anything. 4 wickets. It was Stoinis who stopped the rot.
Also, IPL form is overrated when it comes to international cricket.
True. I
Look at
agree.
Matthew Wade. Look at Matthew Wade. He's a game match winner on his own day for Australia. Can't be doing anything.
Actually, he's not been a match winner for Australia. Also, I have to disagree with that fact. He has played that one innings
Yeah, that's
against Shaheen Shafridi that he had 3 sixes.
But
That's
Siddhant,
all.
that is what matters.
I'm saying that
on
matters.
a big day, on a
But
big day,
on-
if you perform, Rajat Patidar for the rest of his life
We'll remember it.
will remember it. We will remember it.
That's true.
Even
We
today,
talk about Manan, but
we talk about Bisla, we talk about Riddhiman Saha,
Yeah.
your favorite Paul Walthati.
Walthati,
Although that
yes.
didn't, that wasn't scored in a playoff
Yeah.
game, but still.
But the significance of Patidar's 100 is greater because he helped RCB break that eliminator jinx.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a knockout
Knockout.
stage. It's a knockout stage.
No, also everybody is talking about Faf du Plessis is there, Virat Kohli is there, Glenn Maxwell
Why
is there,
Rajat Patidar
Dinesh
is
Karthik is there. Dinesh Karthik, yes, did perform at the end, but who got you the chunk of your runs?
Yes.
112 runs by somebody who was not even part of your side, part of the squad, was let go at the auction without, went unsold at the auction.
Yeah.
It's
you're
just
talking
insane.
about glory this time.
Amazing.
Before Patidar, who was the man who had the highest score non-capped player in knockouts? Manish Pandey, a person who can't get a game right now.
Yeah.
But that 94 was of great significance to KKR. Well.
Yeah.
It won them the second title
Yep.
because it outdid Riddhiman Saha's 100 in
100.
that same match.
Yes.
So it
Right.
matters.
At the Chinnaswamy. Yep.
Yes.
Now what? RCB from here.
I have said they have peaked at the right time. They
He's
are
saying
looking like the
he
team
already
to
picked
beat.
So you
RCB
are
to
saying
win.
that they've already won a couple of games. So you are saying that they will win their next 2 games also.
4 in a row.
I predicted them winning the
I told
tournament
them that
anyway.
they'll reach qualifier 2. Now RR versus RCB. I would give the edge to RCB because now that momentum is with them. That momentum is with them because they are batting and bowling. Slowly
And all come
everybody
into
is
place. And even the
peaking.
fielding now for that matter. Someone like
Wanindu.
Wanindu was diving all around the ground like
Yeah, that's-
peak jaunty roads there. Come
That's
on.
fantastic.
Again,
to
see,
watch.
and the problem with Rajasthan Royals is their death bowling looks weak.
Death bowling.
And RCB, Herschel and Hazelwood, they are the X factors.
And Wanindu to be
Wanindu
backing
Asram.
them up. Imagine.
No, in the battle of the spinners, I would feel Chahal
Chahal
and
is the
Ashwin.
stronger.
And remember, it won't be at Eden. It will be at
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad, where the
Sorry.
conditions will be slightly different. Because it might get slower as the game progresses. That's the
Chalo,
thing.
Manchester Rising.
Manchester Rising.
He's saying Harshal Patel has been superb in the past 2 IPLs, but he'll likely struggle in World Cup.
Disagree. Nothing
Also,
else.
can RCB win IPL when Fab 3 is out of form?
They can. I mean, see, they have not relied on the Fab.
Rajat
three.
Patidar won you the game today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
DK, Hazelwood, Hasaranga, Herschel.
No, I think the debate should be first who's their Fab 3.
I think it's
who's the Fab three?
Faf,
Maxwell.
Virat and Maxwell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
So if
three.
your Fab 3 is not firing and you've reached
So what
qualifier
did you
two,
do today? What did your Fab 3 do today?
Kohli 25-24.
Maxwell
zero.
9 of
Maxwell 9 of 10.
9
Fab
runs.
3 are not performing. Rajat Patidar.
So 33 runs from your
Today,
Fab 3 and yet
they
you managed
won
36
207.
balls.
Today they won it on individual brilliance of Rajat
Yeah.
Patidar and of course a good flourish in the end from Dinesh Karthik.
34 runs of 35 balls. That was your Fab 3 in the RCB setup. 6 overs, just 34 runs if you
My
look
God
at it.
forbid one of them performs in the next game.
That's
then
a
what?
bonus.
Exactly.
If any of the lots, see, Duplessis, when he performs, RCB have never
Always
lost.
win. Exactly.
Now, if he performs in qualified too, because Rajasthan have a very prominent weakness in the death bowling.
I am telling you, Trent Bolt will get either him or Virat Kohli out in the first couple of overs.
But that is not,
Not in the first
issue.
over?
First couple of overs.
That is not the issue. We know Bolt will be like that. But what about the death overs? And because
And he's right.
who you are going to contend with the death overs?
That is true, I agree.
DK.
And DK.
DK. That is the
Mind you,
major
and mind you,
thing.
if they're bowling Prasid, let's not
That's
forget.
DK is like
Was-
hua hai.
Arey, DK was
DK
Prasid's
आएगा,
captain
DK आएगा,
in
DK
KKR,
आएगा.
yeah?
Yes.
He would know how to face him better than almost anyone.
Whom?
DK was Prasid's captain.
in KKR. Let's be forget.
Oh, abhi to
That's
kind of-
okay,
But he
but
would have faced him enough in the nets. Yeah.
Prasid
Come on.
might get dropped.
No,
Oh,
it'll be very-
Kuldeep Sen, you're saying.
Acha, let me always cricket fantasy. No, I am not angry. Rahul has played another good innings because in the end people will see your score and some journalists will say, look, he has done a lot by making 400 runs. No one has noticed the impact.
We are noticing
These are
the
two
impact.
contradictory statements. He's not
Yeah.
angry. He's not criticizing,
But he's criticized in the end.
The problem.
but he's not scored 400 runs.
He scored way more than that.
I think again he scored
600. He has
Right.
completed 600 runs,
for
boss.
the fourth consecutive season.
Exactly.
Tali baja.
Wow. But what about a strike rate? That is the key. But again, see the
Arey,
I don't-
impact. Forget about the strike rate also.
doesn't
That
matter.
is
How
why
many
you know,
matches has he won?
exactly. That is what. That is the reason why I rate Suresh Raina so highly
Yeah.
in the IPL. That is why you call him Mr. IPL, or you used to call him.
Even if
Mr.
Raina would score 36, they would come at 12,
Exactly.
13 balls at times and they would make a
impact,
bigger
that
impact.
and the impact.
you see, look at that now. Okay, Kings 11 Punjab versus Chennai Super Kings Wankhede qualified 2. Kings 11 Punjab had scored 230. Raina 87 of 25.
Yeah.
Got CSK, gave them a modicum of hope. Here, chasing 210, you're already behind the 8 ball. Why? Because middle overs.
This is
six-
KL Rahul.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Can you, Shane? I can't read because my eyesight
His
is.
strike rate is 135 this
This
year.
season.
And
An
136
average
right?
of 51.33.
Yep.
Okay.
Strike
Last
rate-
season.
Last season 139 strike rate, average of 63.
Okay. Then in 2020.
Average of 55.8 and strike rate of 129.
And before that, 2019.
135 strike rate.
And average of 54.
Great. So what has happened since 2018?
Since
See.
2018, if you have to look at it, 158 in 2018, that was the peak of a strike rate.
Yeah.
659 runs, so it was 55 average and 158 strike rate.
Simple thing. He scored 200s this season, right?
Yep.
200s. Which is the team he scored them against?
Mumbai Indians.
Where did they finish?
Bottom.
Best, there we go. Okay, come.
And even 2020, 132, he scored against RCB, but they finished in the eliminator, 4th.
There we go.
Yeah. But look at the strike rates, man. And
Strike. I strike.
No,
rate
it's.
scored-
I
you
think.
can
I
score-
think. I think. Over the years, you look at this and like, oh, great numbers and all, but the impact is what is we are talking
How
about
many
right
have
now.
been match-winning innings?
This was the night. If he would have won the game with his innings, we would have talked about
would have
him.
been his third
What a
match-winning
brilliant
It
knock
would
by
have been-
KL
it would have
Rahul.
actually been a change because he has never performed at a time when it's needed the most. If he had won them this game, you'd say, you know what, yeah, you're chasing 200. You played a captain's knock. You won your team.
And the
game.
funny thing is, LSG lost all their games against the other top 3 sides in the top 4. They could not manage a single victory against them.
Exactly.
They lost to RCB, they lost to Gujarat Titans both times, they've lost to Rajasthan also 2 times.
And what is it that we pointed out about LSG? Saying they haven't beaten a single of those teams?
yep.
Matters.
2018, what position did Rahul bat? Was it opening?
Yeah, he was batting.
Yeah.
for
He's
long
been
time.
opening, yeah.
But he's only been opening for a long time.
He was
2018
born to
Punjab.
Oh yeah, he hit that 14 ball 50, no, in that match.
He was
Yeah,
born
so-
to open.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strike rate.
As a Lucknow fan, I am
Strike rate
supremely
is
pissed.
overrated.
No,
Oh,
not in the T20
No,
format.
actually, I
Acha.
think this is being sarcastic because
Yeah.
I think KL was the one who said this.
No, yeah, I think
Yeah, he said it.
Shubman also.
KL was the one who
KL
said
is the one who said it.
that strike
rate is overrated.
Of course, he'd think that.
Yep.
But and you know when Rahul Tripathi and Sanju Samson, they were not picked for
South Africa
for the next series against South Africa at home.
Strike rate was a
Everybody, in fact, people, fans, what they did, they just threw numbers, and numbers were their strike rate,
Strike rate.
close to 150, both of them.
He's 138, yeah. What is this?
And now, any anyways.
I mean,
I
that's
think,
the
as I
problem with
always
numbers.
Say, as I always say, first things, two things. One, you need context. B, I am okay with 138 strike rate and scoring 600 runs if those 600 runs came in big match-winning causes. As I pointed out, 2 of his centuries came against the wooden spooners.
I don't care if somebody has not scored 300 runs in the tournament. If he scores 200 odd runs, even in
Match-winning causes.
match-winning causes, even in like say playoffs, that guy deserves to be in the side, boss. He's winning you those big matches.
The prime example, every run that he might have scored is a match winning now. DK.
Yeah.
Every run that he has scored has led in one way or the other to an RCB win.
And not just that, the kind of impact he has had in the final overs, boss. Those are the difficult overs. I think DK, even though
Look at those numbers. That's
64
madness.
average at a strike rate of 187. 22 fours and 27 sixes.
27 fours and 20.
Oh, 27 fours, so 22 into 6, 132.
So those 324 runs by DK are far more valuable
Yeah,
than
correct,
anybody scoring even 1000
Correct,
runs.
Correct.
240 runs out of 324 have been
Well,
in
somebody
boundaries.
scoring 1000 runs, they should be winning you games.
Yeah, that's what.
Yep.
Which Virat Kohli did, like in 2016.
So, I mean, DK, all of those 324 runs is the result why RCB are in the
Qualifier
second
two,
qualifier.
correct.
Yeah. Simple.
When DK scores, they win. It's that simple. It's a lot like if you go back in time. Say with the KKR of old.
And they dropped
Gambhir and Uthappa.
And they dropped them on 2 today.
Yeah.
Yep.
LSG.
Again, whenever they have dropped catches, the opposition has been made to pay. That's why CSK did not have a good time. They dropped catches.
I have to
Rohit
say,
Kumar, we all also don't admit now. I said it before. I was one of few people who said he's not a big match player. So that is my major
no,
problem.
last game everybody was pointing fingers at him for his strike rate and everything.
See, that is still
last
fair
game
enough.
was fine.
No,
This
again,
game,
yeah.
no.
Rohit Kumar, you have to understand that that game was different. This game was
is very different.
You have to take it in both.
You have to look at the context.
Yes.
Also, setting a score is very different from chasing a
Chasing.
score when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
you are chasing such a huge total. Then you can't afford to be like that with guys like Evan Lewis sitting in the dugout. You guys deciding to send Manan Vora at number 3, and even though Manan Vora scored 19 of 11, almost a strike rate of some people say 200.
No.
But at the end of the day, you look at somebody like an Evan Lewis who only got to face 6 deliveries. Marcus Stoinis probably would have done better if he would have gotten more balls.
Yep.
In fact, Rahul Bhai was pointing it out that they have kept the 2 guys who
For
are
next
international
year.
players till so late. Why would you do that? Why not just go out and try and score quick
Yeah.
runs when that's the need of the hour? Why just play everything like, okay, I'll take a single, then 5 overs later I'll try to hit 5 sixes in a row? That doesn't make sense.
Sankalp Sahu, you're right, his strike rate was more than Chris Gayle, but that was, again, this is why context is important. In 2018, KXIP were muddled with who they want to open. Sometimes they'd open with Rahul and Mayank, sometimes they'd open with Rahul and Gayle. On the rare occasion when Rahul was injured, they would be opening with the other 2. So Gale's role in that team was very, very muddled. Unlike in RCB where he had a clear brief and later on. Remember, Gale really molded his match style.
Yes.
Previously he used to be going bang bang,
Bang,
from
bang.
ball 1.
He would pick his overs.
After that, I remember there was one game in Delhi only against Delhi. First 10 overs he batted. He was batting at a strike rate of 110. After
then
that,
he made
scored
128.
Yeah, he scored a century and his eventual strike rate was past 160,
Yeah.
right?
And
So-
in that match was the precursor to the disaster that Delhi Daredevils drew in qualifier 2.
Yeah.
They benched Monemokel. And it was the only time in that season that Delhi Daredevils conceded 200.
Correct.
Now in qualifier 2,
Sunny Gupta.
you open with Sunny Gupta and you bench Monemokel. What happened? That's what happened.
Shivam Johar says, I'm waiting for Gambhir's speech to be uploaded on Instagram. I hope.
Won't happen.
No, I hope for his sake he looks at the mirror and shouts a little bit too. They
No,
need
but
to be
then
taking
what
some
happened in
accountability.
that? Okay, the message was there, but then you needed to keep it in the dressing room. It need not have gone out publicly.
I'm saying they won't put it out.
No.
I'm just saying that. I also was pointing out that Dinesh Karthik, every time he's been dropped, he's made the other team pay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Heavily. That
Sunrisers, yeah.
SRH, Rahul
Sunrisers
Tripathi
Faruqi.
dropping that catch at deep mid wicket,
Yep.
scored 22 runs off his next 4 deliveries, 3 sixes, 1 4, including that drop catch.
Yep.
And then today also, I think 2 runs. Mohsin Khan bowled that
Yeah.
ball. Dinesh Karthik got a leading edge. KL Rahul, mid off his position, I thought was completely wrong when he started
Yeah.
to run to his left. And then, even though he reached there made a mess of the catch.
That one commenter, I think is Laden Gamer YT, I think.
Laden Gamer YT.
Yeah, Rahul never let the run rate come down in the 14-15 overs.
Amazing.
Vora Stoinis got out in the pressure of runs put by Rahul. When you have Stoinis, Lewis and Krunal on the bench, there is no need of anchoring.
Yeah. They were chasing 14 runs an over for a long time. But you have to say they got it down to less than 12 at one stage.
Also, Love Ravi, thank you for using my dialogue. Substance is there, doesn't need
sizzle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess that's enough ranting about this game.
Not a word on Rajat Patidar.
I love
The man who took RCB into the...
No, we did. We
Second
spoke about it.
qualifier. Yep. Second qualifier where they'll take on Rajasthan Royals. That too, bye-bye Kolkata. We'll now see you at Ahmedabad.
Oh, yes.
The last two games.
Are you going to Ahmedabad?
I am not going to Ahmedabad.
For the qualifier 2 in the final now.
Yes, we'll be at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad.
They'll be.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Rajat Patidar, you have to say, for a guy.
Yeah, always cricket fantasy is saying, actually I commented on the basis of Rahul Rawat's analysis over Rahul Tripathi and Sanju Samson, not selected that day. He justified why they were not selected, but the player
that they had also quotes runs, not impact.
So I'll tell you. So see, Rahul Tripathi batted. I still stand by what I said that day. And as far as Rahul Tripathi is concerned, I've spoken to a few people. Most likely, Rahul Tripathi will be given a chance for the Ireland series. So he might just travel to Ireland for that 2-match series. See, he'll get limited opportunities. What selectors have done, what the team management has done, is that they have picked a pool of close to 24 to 26 players, because they don't want to increase that pool of players, because the more you increase, as they say, and the more difficulties you will face. This is exactly what happened in 2019. Not the pool increased, but for just one particular spot you tried almost 8 to 10 players, nothing happened. So they don't want to repeat that kind of a mistake, and it's not certain. See, DK has been in sensational form, so either you had to come up with a performance that would give you an immediate attention. You know, it is hard to miss you. So what DK has done is miraculous, to be very honest. It is hard to miss. What Umran Malik has done, that is also hard to miss.
With the pace.
Yes, and Umran Malik has may not have picked too many wickets, although he's got around 21-22 wickets. But the kind of pace that he has, if you ask me today, I don't think Umran Malik is going to Australia for the T20 World Cup.
But he's made himself one to watch.
Yes. So because there was an opportunity to test him, and also you have to realize what selectors have also done. Just before the IPL, you would remember there was a camp that was held in Bangalore. So except for DK and Umran Malik, none of these players who've been picked for this South Africa series at home is outside that camp. Even Arshdeep was part of that camp. So Rahul Tripathi was very good this season, was very, very good, but may not have done enough to earn himself a place, at least in this team, in this squad for the home series against South Africa. He may be given an opportunity for Ireland or Ireland series. So let's not just jump the gun. Let's wait.
No, and selectors have done a mixture of continuity as well as rewarding some IPL performances.
True, and that's how it should be, honestly.
And you know, I asked somebody, you know, one of the selectors, that I thought it was end of the road for Cheteshwar Pujara. So although he scored a few, in fact 400s there.
County, yeah.
So what he told me was, हमारा काम player को बनाना होता है. You know, BCCI has invested so much in a player like Pujara. When we say invested, although you know, it is up to the player, it is player's hard work, ability, capabilities and caliber wherever he finishes by the end of his career. But then when we say, so you invest in a player, you give him tours, you give him A tours and so many other things. So he said, उसको बनाने में इतना time लिया है, उसको खत्म करने में ऐसे ही कर दे. And so was the case for Ravi Bishnoi. I said Ravi Bishnoi, Avesh Khan, they didn't have a great IPL this year, but still you've persisted. So what you said, you must not read too much into the performances of what you actually do in the IPL.
Yep.
So
Also, we're talking about impact, right? As Amit Khajura says, want to win World Cup, find a replica of Yuvraj. Impact player.
you won't find a Yuvraj again.
You will not, but I'm saying that is the key, that is a type of player. I'm not saying
Yes.
like a Yuvraj, but impact player.
2 World Cups.
Yes.
2 World Cups that you won.
LSG's mentor, Gautam Gambhir.
Also an impact
Impact.
Yeah.
player. That 97 in the
Final,
Final,
and also
75.
don't forget
Yes,
the
in the 2007
yes,
World Cup.
2007 World Cup
75. The
final.
only.
And I'm a major GG fan for obvious
yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, can we call it a day now?
Yes, Lavrami says it's 110 coffee call.
Is it 110?
Yes.
My goodness.
Also today, Team Red defeated Team Blue. Tomorrow.
Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Red?
Team Red, RCB, defeated Team Bluish Greenish.
Hey, this
What-
is not even a blue. I know.
I don't know what color is this.
This
by
is
the way.
Gokuldam Premier League.
This is
Yes.
blue green. This is blue green, whatever. And tomorrow, by the way, we are again having a match.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
ST Blue versus ST Red. And
their ST Blue.
that you can watch live also, by the way, on the
yes.
Sportstak app.
Yes.
So
Chandresh ji, we are leaving. Good night. We are leaving.
Chalo guys.
see you tomorrow.
Chalo ji, see you. Good night. Tata. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.